Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I am a woman who used to work in South Africa. I started by working at this other farm. That was when we met this other man whom we used to call Muzioni because he used to go to a ZCC church. So he was a manager at the farm where we were working. He then stopped working at that farm where he went to no one knew. Then all of a sudden we started to hear rumors that he was now filthy rich and he was now staying in Joburg. So at the farm where we were working, it was just outside of Matox. That was where we used to work, me and that man whom we used to call Muzioni. He then called me one day and he told me that him and his wife, they were looking for a maid. So then I traveled all the way from Matox and then I came to Joburg and I started to work for them as their maid. Life was pretty good because the money that they were giving to me, it was so much better than the money that we were making when we were working at the farm. So I was really grateful for the job that they had given to me and the opportunity as well. I tried by all means to work very hard until one day when he said something to me that I never thought that he'll ever say to me, because he was someone that was always praying and he always went to church at all the times. I never knew that he was a womanizer. On that day he called me and he told me that there was something that he wanted to share with me. I asked him what was it. He then said to me he was madly in love with me. He wanted me to date him. I then said, no, I can't do it because I have known your wife for a very long time. What is your wife going to say after she would have found out that I have been sleeping around with her husband? No, I am sorry. I can't sleep with you because you are my boss, by the way. He then said, no, do not worry, I am going to give you a lot of money. So I refused. He then came back to me and he said, please just agree. After he had promised me a lot of money, because he had said, if you date me, I'm going to give you 100k. So the thought of 100,000 rands, it was a lot. I said that I will never be able to get so much money in my entire life. This is an opportunity like no other. So what I did was that I agreed to sleep with this man. But later on he changed and he said, since you have told me that you are comfortable in sleeping with me, then let me tell you the whole story. He then told me that he had gone to Mozambique. After he had gone to Mozambique, that was where he had been given some charms. Even though he was living like a millionaire, guess the kind of business that he had at that time. All that he did was sell hacham in Joburg in the CBD, as well as some cabbages as well. So when this man told me that he was going to give me 100k, I could not even understand where he was getting all of this money from. But he told me that he had been given good luck for his business when he had gone to Mozambique. So he wanted me to sleep with a lizard that he had brought with him from Mozambique, which was giving him all of the good luck that he had in his business. I hesitated, but then I agreed and I said, okay, it's fine, show me the lizard. His wife was not around, and then that was when he took out the lizard and he showed me the lizard, and I saw that it looked normal, as if it was a man, like the manhood was that of a man. And he said, if you want, you can sleep with it. We then arranged for a date, and then I slept with that lizard. He then gave me the money, and I said, there is no more need for me to stay in South Africa anymore. With all of this money that I have made, what is the purpose of me staying in South Africa anymore? That was when I decided to return back home. When I came back home, then I opened a small spaza shop, and from there on I started going to Botswana, I would go there and I would buy clothes, sneakers, and return with them back to Zim. I would go to the most remote villages in our province, where I would go and sell the clothes that I would have brought with me from Botswana. And the people, some of them, they did not even have like hard cash. What they used to do is that they would give me some maize grains, beans, as well as ground nuts, and I would return with them back to Harare and sell it to the people directly. So I was making a lot of profit in this business that I was doing, and I started to make a lot of money. So this is my secret that I have not yet shared with anyone. And I have been thinking that when my kids are all grown up, when they have finished their university studies, when they are working, if they are living comfortably, then I'm going to sit with them down and I will tell them of the story that happened to me when I was in South Africa, so that they can appreciate all of the sacrifices that I did for them as a single mother. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. She is saying that this is the sacrifice that she had to do when she was working as a maid in South Africa. Then there is another message that I want to share with you. The message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I am a woman, and this happened when I was still in high school. My parents, they were very rich, and I want you to tell the people that listen to your programs to never want to be like the people that they always see that are wealthy, because you do not know where the person is getting their money from. Just like what my parents used to do in church, they were respected by everyone, they were feared by everyone. Everyone wished to be as rich as my father because he would give a lot of donations to the church. But the day when I found out that my father, he was a ritualist, I had another whole new perspective about the way that he was praised in church and all the money that he gave to the church. But still, I was afraid to confront my parents because of the things that I saw. One day, I got up and I was supposed to go to school. So I had a personal driver, even though I was still very young. I got out of the house and I got into the vehicle. The driver was busy with the vehicle and he told me that the car could not start. Since I wanted to go to school, I then said, okay, let me go out, because my father, he had taxis. He had 2 taxis, but these were like minibuses. If you know this other minibus that we used to call a diner clipper back in those days, that were the taxis that my father had recently bought. So I waited for one because it was operating in that same route, Waterfalls to Harare CBD. So I waited for the taxi to come. It came and it picked me up. Then when I was sitting, then I started to have a vision. In between the driver and the front passenger seat, I then saw that there was this other short man that was sitting there. This was like a short old man with long beard, and this man was wearing a jacket. Back in those days, they used to have these jackets that they used to call cordro jackets. It was black in color and it was wearing a denim blue jacket as well as farmer shoes, and those were the clothes that my father used to wear at all the times. He had this other shirt which was a Scotch shirt as well as that jacket and the denim blue jean as well as the farmer shoes. Those were the clothes that my father used to wear at all the times. The scary thing about it was that the driver was not the one that was controlling the vehicle, but it was that small Togoloshi that was busy controlling the vehicle, and it was receiving money from the passengers that were paying for their taxi fare. And each and every time after it would have received some money, what this Tokoloshi will do was that it will first spit on the money and handing over the money to the conductor who will be giving out the tickets. This is the vision that I saw. It happened for only about less than 5 minutes, and then I told the driver to stop the taxi. He stopped the taxi, and I told him that I wanted to go to town using another taxi. The people in the taxi, including the driver, thought that I did not want to go to school on that day, but that was not the case. I was scared of the thing that I had seen in a vision. This was a tokoloshi that just looked like my father. My father, at all the times, he kept this long beard, and he was always wearing the same clothes, even at church. He never changed the clothes. He would always be wearing that corduroy jacket, the blue jean, the Scotch shirt, including the farmer shoes, even though he was really wealthy, but he never changed the clothes. And we used to complain a lot when my father would be wearing the same clothes over and over again. So after I had seen all of these things, I was too scared of my parents. This is my own secret, and I just want you to tell people that it is not each and every person that is ultra rich that you see out there and you think that their money is clean money. I never suspected and I never knew that my parents, they were ritualists. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear sister. That was a narration. Strange things they do happen in this world. A tokoloshi controlling a whole taxi and also receiving money from the passengers. Yo, if you have ever worked for any transport company, you can come to our inbox and share with us some of the deep secrets, the dark secrets that you learned about that company. Then there is another message that I want to share with you. It reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? This message that I'm sending you, it is a message that I am sending using a ghost account that I just created. So just to mask my identity. I used to work as an operative in the government. I was a secret agent. So what has brought me here is that I am being haunted by the spirits of the people that died after my friend Blessing had caused an accident, and I covered my friend's drunk accident in Mutare, and now the spirits of those people, they are haunting me to this very day. I don't know if you can find anyone that can be able to assist me. My name, you'll call me Tawanda. I used to be a secret agent, and I can't share with you a lot of sensitive information. Back then, I was someone that had power and I had influence, and I used a lot of connections so as to get whatever that I wanted. And I was just arrogant because I saw myself as being one who was on top of the world. I did not care a lot about a lot of things. But now I am being persecuted and I am being haunted by the spirit of the people that died. And I am being told that this year I am going to lose another child. Now that we are getting into December, I am wondering if December is going to come to an end before I would have lost my child. If God is still going to protect me just like He has protected me and my family throughout the year. But I was told that this year again I am going to lose another child. Let me tell you what happened on that fateful night. I'll say that it happened. It was on 12th September. The year it was in 2015 at around 10:47 p.m. I was off duty. I had been drinking at this other favorite spot where I used to drink my alcohol. That was when I received a phone call from this other guy. He was a well-known businessman. He called me and he said, "Bro, I think I have killed someone. Please come." He then told me where he was, and then I rushed to his location. I rushed out. When I arrived near Christmas Pass, just before the curve that descends into Mutare, that was when I saw this car. He was driving a white Toyota Hilux, and it was parked in a very funny way in the middle of the road. Then on the other side there was a vehicle that he had crashed into, and on the road there was a mess. There were bodies that were lying motionlessly, and there was blood everywhere. As for my friend Blessing, He could not even stand. He was too drunk. He was even unable to talk properly. And I knew what this meant. If I was going to leave him in that situation, he was going to prison for all of his life, because this was pure manslaughter that had happened. So I quickly called one of my friends so that he can come and assist me with the cleanup operation that we were about to do. And then he came. After he came, we then moved the vehicle in a way that my friend won't look like he was the one that had caused the accident. We then decided to take the car to be safe to the yard. There was this other place where we used to call the yard. What we used to do was that, since I was working as a spy, I would spy on big syndicates, like big crime syndicates. So when you are working as a secret agent, you can even be involved in some criminal activities so that you can get close to the crime bosses. So there was a Mozambican crime syndicate. They used to steal cars as far as South Africa, and then they would park those cars at the yard waiting for transportation going to Mozambique. Even cars that were stolen as well in Zim, they will pass through the yard, some of them. So we then rushed with that Toyota Hilux to that yard, and I spoke with the Mozambicans. They then sent some of their people to come to collect the car so that it can be crossed over into Mozambique before any suspicions. So that was what we did on that night. And after I had left my friend at his house, I rushed back to that accident scene. When I arrived there, I saw that there were two plainclothes officers that were there. I spoke with them. They knew me, and I told them all the things that had happened and my intentions on that accident spot. And then they agreed. We then pushed the vehicle until it was close to a tree, as if the driver was too drunk, the one that had been driving the car that my friend Blessing had crashed into, as if he was the one that had caused this accident, as if he had lost control of the vehicle and he had crashed into a tree. As for the bodies that were in the tarred road, we lifted them up and then we left them close to that tree. So that is the way that we cleaned up the whole spot, and that was the end of the story. So Blessing, he started to see things that were scary. He then left the country and he went to the United Kingdom. After he had ran away from Zim, when he was in the United Kingdom, he started to get so sick, and then he was taken to a mental institution. That is where he died, because he used to say that he was seeing people that wanted to force him to come back to Zim. After my friend had passed away, then I started to see a lot of things that were also scary. I would be having spiritual encounters. The first spiritual encounter that I had was that I started to receive a lot of SMSs from an unknown number. Since I had been working as a secret agent, I had other secret agents that I knew that were working for mobile operators. There was one of my friends who was working for a company that is called Net1. I then spoke with him and I said, I have received some messages that I can't see in my phone, as well as for the phone number. I can't see the phone number. Is there anyone that has been spying on me? He then checked everything and he said, no, your phone does not show that it has recently received any message. There is nothing. So I thought that maybe it was I that was hallucinating. I then gave my wife the phone without informing her that I was testing to see if she would also receive the funny messages, but my wife did not receive any messages at all. I then took the phone. On this other day, I was going to work. I had been sleeping around with this married woman. So what we used to do, me and that woman, we would talk on WhatsApp and delete all the messages. So as I was driving, I had my phone in between my legs because I was busy chatting with her for easy access. And when I looked, I then saw that the phone had disappeared. I then told one of my friends, who was also a secret agent who loved to deal with a lot of traditional healers. He then took me to Chipinge. When we arrived in Chipinge. The healer asked me what had happened. I told the healer about the whole cover up that had happened, how my friend had caused an accident and had ran away, and I had helped him to do the whole cover up, and now I was being haunted by the spirits of those people that had died in the accident. The healer then said that there were some rituals that were supposed to be done in order for those people to stop haunting me. The healer then gave me some warm water in a bucket, and he told me that I was supposed to wash my feet as well as to wash my hands. He then told me that I was not supposed to do it at his home because that was not where the people had died. I then drove from Chipinge and I returned back to Mutare CBD. I then went to the Christmas Pass where the accident had happened. And then that was when I took out that bucket that was full of the water. What surprised me was that even though this was a normal bucket, but after driving for so long, the water was still very warm. I started to wash my feet where there was blood, and I started to wash my hands as well at the spot where those people had lost their lives. After that was done, that was when I walked towards the tree. Remember that tree where we had pushed the vehicle so that those people that were going to see the place where the accident had happened, they will say that it was the driver's fault. I went close to that tree. I removed my panties and I started to do poop. I pooped close to that tree. After that, that was when I left the poop for 7 days, just like I had been told by the traditional healer. It started raining for the next 7 days, and when I returned back to that spot, what surprised me was that the poop, it was so dry, as if for the past 7 days it had been so hot. I then took the poop and I returned back to Chipinge. When I arrived there, he then told me that I was supposed to grind my poop until it was like powder. After that, he put it in another small packet and he said, return back to your home and I want you to perform these rituals. He told me when I would have arrived home, whenever I would see the ghost of those people that were haunting me, because it used to happen when I was with my wife or when I was with a girlfriend, even at a hotel or at a lodge. So he had said to me, when you see someone in your room who was a ghost or a spirit, you wake up and make sure that your partner that you'll be sleeping with in bed on that night won't hear you. Then you have to go to your car, because this is where the poop used to stay, in my car. I then went to my car and I would take that plastic bag and I would take the powder from the poop and then I would start to rub it on my face and wait. And after that, then I will wash my face. Then I will go back to bed. This was how I was protecting myself from the spirit of those people that died in that accident, and we did a cover up. So he then told me that I was supposed to perform another ritual. This ritual that I performed on that day, I told my wife that I wanted to give her some money so that she can go and buy whatever that she wanted for the kids, for herself, as well as for our maid, because I wanted to be alone. So then I took a pick and a shovel and I went to the front gate and I started to dig a hole, and I took some powder from the poop and then I put it in the hole, as well as at the front door I had dug up another big hole as well. And these were the rituals that I performed. After performing those rituals, I returned back to Chipinge. Life became a little bit better until the poop was finished. I went back and I was told that the traditional healer who had been assisting me all along, he had died. I asked them, how was it possible that a man that I had seen recently, he was healthy, he was okay? They told me that what he had done was that they had performed a dual match with another traditional healer from Mozambique. Unfortunately, the healer that had been assisting me, he lost that battle and he died. I started crying at that compound because I knew that it was game over for me. I returned back to the city. I went to another traditional healer that assisted me, but this man, he was the one that made the situation to be worse. When I returned back from him, my child was playing with a bicycle, fell over, got a fever. The next day, my child passed away, and it has been like that ever since my child passed away. And now I hear voices that tell me that this year I am going to lose another child. I do not want that to happen. I have been going around to different traditional healers and prophets, and all of them, they are telling me that in order for this to be resolved, I have to be arrested, because this is what the blood of the innocent is saying and crying out unto the Lord, that I have to die because I made this cover up. I can't do that. I do not want to end up in prison. If the relatives were going to be given money, I have money that I can give to them, but anything that will involve me losing my position of power and getting arrested, I can't. Therefore, I have come to you. I want you to assist me with a healer who won't use his emotions and who won't tell me that the things that I did were wrong. I am supposed to correct all the things that I did by reporting this issue. I do not want that to happen. I want a healer that is going to help me to make sure that the spirit of these dead people will be buried forever, so that they won't haunt me anymore. Money is there. If you know anyone, please be free to share their phone numbers with me so that I can speak with them. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother, who was saying that he was working as a secret agent. When he was working as a secret agent, these were the things that he did. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us try to talk with him in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to us by one of our dear sister. The message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? I am a South African woman, so I got involved in this business of making skin lightening creams. I'm still starting because it's like a club of Stockville. So the leader, she is a Zimbabwean woman, but she is staying in Tanzania. That is where she sources the products from India. Now I'm scared because I have been having dreams where I am being thrown into a pit that is full of scorpions, and I also see myself drinking blood. Recently, I was invited to this other house for the first time, me being in Senton. When I got there were a lot of women who are also selling this skin lightening cream. Those women, some of them, they are from Ghana, Nigeria, from neighboring countries, and there were 6 South African women that were there. But all of these women, to tell you, they were all light in their skin tone, and the clothes that they were wearing, it was as if I was at a marine spirit party. They were even eating raw fish, and they were even doing some rituals as if they were mermaids. It was so scary, but it felt nice. I was given money that they told me that I am only supposed to use it after I would have donated 20% from the 10,000 rands that they gave to me. I still have that money because they told me that the person that I'm going to give this money, when I meet that person, my heart is supposed to beat very fast. So I do go to town and I walk around, and I have not yet managed to find the person whom I am supposed to donate this money to. And now I have been having all of these dreams where I am being thrown into a pit full of scorpions, drinking blood. And when we were in Senton, they gave me this wine. It was so strong to taste, and it made me vomit. It was as if I was drinking blood. The way that it was even hot, it was as if they had removed this wine from a microwave because it was so hot. So what has brought me here is, should I continue being part of this group? Because they are even on WhatsApp. I am in a WhatsApp group where they tell us how to look for customers to sell the skin lightening creams that they have taught us to create. And these lightening creams, they are so cheap, so much cheap that anyone can afford to buy them. And they also teach us social media skills on how to get people into using our brand of skin lightening creams. And most of the women that I have spoken with that are South African, their lives have changed overnight after using these skin lightening creams. Should I continue being part of this? Because they have told me that the money that they gave to me, it is small change. There was even one woman that used to stay in Soweto. This lady, she has returned back to KZN, where she comes from, and she is building a big mansion. She told me one day that she had been stuck. She was unable to even return back home because she had been stuck staying in Soweto for a very long time. So she also got that same opportunity that I received after I started going to this other Ghanaian church, where they told us that they have this mission of empowering women into selling these products, beauty products. Now I'm scared that maybe these things that we are doing, they are for the marine spirits. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. If you have any confession that you want to share with us, you can share with us via our Facebook page at Brother Nashi. Strange things they do happen in this world. She's saying that she is always having these strange dreams, as if she has joined a marine spirit organization. Let us talk with him in the comment section.